I refused to support my son having a relationship with his biological father. When my son was 13, we found out I wasn't his real dad. My former best friend was. The guy I grew up with, the one who stood next to me at my wedding, had been sleeping with my wife behind my back. I still remember the day we got the DNA results. We only did the test because my son needed some medical history for a surgery he was having. The doctor mentioned something about blood types not matching up and suggested we look into it. I thought it was going to be nothing. When I saw those results, my whole world collapsed. I looked at my son, this kid I had raised for 13 years, taught to ride a bike, stayed up with when he was sick, and I realized none of that had changed for me. He was still my boy, but everything else was destroyed. My marriage ended that same month. My wife tried to explain, tried to apologize, but there was nothing she could say. She had let me believe I was his father for over a decade while knowing the truth the whole time. My best friend tried calling me too, saying he wanted to be part of my son's life now that everything was out in the open. My son wanted nothing to do with him. Every time my ex tried to arrange a meeting between them, my son would literally run away from her house and show up at my door. Eventually, the court let him live with me full-time because that's what he wanted. He sees his mom maybe once every couple months now. Their relationship hasn't been the same since he found out about all the lies. She hurt him just as much as she hurt me. For the last few months, my ex has been calling me constantly trying to convince me that I need to encourage our son to have a relationship with his bio dad. She keeps saying things like it would be best for him to have all of us in his life and that if I really love him like I say I do, it shouldn't matter. Last week, she came over to talk about it in person. She sat in my living room and told me I was being selfish and petty. She said our son won't pursue a relationship with his bio dad because he knows it would hurt me. She said if I truly loved him, I would put my feelings aside and be supportive. I told her the truth. I said it was hard enough having her in my life for our son's sake. I told her I hated them both for what they did to me and to our family. I said they made this mess and they could figure it out themselves, but I wasn't going to pretend to be okay with any of it. She kept pushing, saying a real father would do anything for his child. That comment made my blood boil. I've done everything for that kid. I'm the one who raised him. I'm the one who was there for every school play, every basketball game, every nightmare in the middle of the night. And now she wants to lecture me about being a real father? I told her to leave my house. She stood at the door and said I was going to ruin my relationship with my son if I kept this up, that he would eventually resent me for standing in the way of him knowing his biological father. Here's the thing that keeps me up at night though. Part of me knows she might be right about one thing. My son probably does avoid building that relationship because he doesn't want to hurt me. He's a good kid and he's protective of my feelings. But I can't bring myself to tell him it's okay to get close to that man. Every time I think about encouraging it, I picture my former best friend sitting at my son's graduation, standing at his wedding someday, being called dad by the boy I raised. It makes me physically sick. My son turns 18 in a few months. Once he's an adult, he can make whatever choice he wants and I won't stop him, but I'm not going to push him toward the guy who betrayed me. I'm not going to smile and pretend everything is fine when it's not. My ex called me again yesterday saying I was damaging our son by making him choose. I told her he already chose years ago when he ran away from her house to mine. She's the one who can't accept that. I hung up on her and blocked her number for a few hours just to get some peace. My son asked me later if everything was okay because he could tell I was upset. I just told him his mom and I had a disagreement and left it at that. He doesn't need to know the details. He's been through enough already.